Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on Ravenport. We are just dropping down to do that tiny little bit there, and we're then going to turn round and carry on with the field by the look of it. Looks like we might actually be doing a reasonable job of it. So once this bit is done, we've then got to go and do the raking. Now at the moment we've only got our the wheel rake, and I'm not that fond of that rake, so I am thinking that maybe we'll change that one over. We've got a few other bits that we want to do. We've got some dirty mowers here, so I might... Let's just run these mowers down over to the wash pad a minute, and we will wash these off. Then we can see about changing our rake over. This is the fastest tractor, so that I'd like to use this tractor in order to run up to the shop to get another rake. We're not going to want anything particularly extravagant for doing our raking. We don't need... Oh, no, I don't want tedders back. I want the next one. Windrowers right there. So, yeah, we've got that one. We don't need anything particularly big like that one over there. And the Merge Max up here, whilst it's absolutely wonderful, again, it's a little bit extravagant for the size of farm we've got. So I think this one here would be about right. That one, I really like that one. It's only a little bit bigger than this one over here, but I just prefer it to the wheel rake. It's also a lot more maneuverable. It's a lot easier to get around the corners and things like that. So let's just stop you here a minute, and our tedder is actually doing a wonderful job. Look at it go. What? Whoa, why are you stopping? Oh, it's confused itself because it got to the end of the field. Right, okay, yeah, let's just hope that the worker up there can be trusted and can carry on. And we will just clean these things off a minute, and then we've also got some oats in the trailer that we'll deal with. I don't think there's very much. I think actually most of those oats will go into storage. We'll have a look at the horses in a minute, and we will check that, whether they go into storage or whether we'll go and do something else with them. And we are $37,000 at the moment. We can't really go and grow a cash crop because we desperately need to keep the food supply going for both the horses and for the chickens. So we can afford to take a season out at the moment in order to grow a cash crop to generate a bit more money, which means that we're still relying on purely 100% eggs and wool production in order to be able to make our money to expand our farm a little bit. We do have the horses as well. We've now got 16 horses on the farm, and those horses will be generating us a little bit of income, although we're not going to get anything. Well, actually, I was thinking, was it tomorrow? I think tomorrow is the day that we sell some horses, because the thing with the horses, they start at 5% and they gain 10% per day, so these have started at 5. So the best option with horses is to run them gaining 10% per day. These are at 25. We've got 25, 15, and 5. So these, we've actually got 4 at 5. We've got 4 and 4, and then we've got 5 over here, which is a bit too many. So I might actually sell one of these here. And then we've got Tonza, Zorta 777, and Deuce MS. So if I wait one more day, I will sell one of the other horses. So then we're changing 4 each time. So then we'll have 5, 15, 25, and 35. Then, so it is going to be a little while before we have any more ready, but then they should all be ready. We'll have a whole load of them all at once. So, yeah, all the oats, it looks like, are pretty much going to be going in for the horses. Now, that's fine. We'll stick all the oats in. The next lot of food is... Well, actually, we'll grow wheat in there next, I think. Did we do wheat last time? I think maybe we'll grow... You know, I have no idea. Just wondering whether we should do wheat or barley. We can have a look and see in our storage section. We have none of the above. So I honestly can't remember what we did last time. So I'm thinking we'll go... I think we would have done barley. So we'll go for a bit... We'll go for some wheat. We'll plant some wheat in there this time. Before we do that, though, we want to go and get another rake. So we'll bring that one back through there like that. There we go. The mowers we're going to keep now. These mowers are ours. We're not getting rid of them. They will stay on the farm. We've got that tedder up there that is very nearly almost finished. So we want to hurry up and get this next bit going. I've got the mower there, so this mower here can go... Actually, what did I have in here? Would I have the baler in? I did have the baler right in there. No, the baler went over in the other section. So what did I have in here? Pretty sure I had something in here. Not quite sure now. Let's drop that one off there. Unfortunately, you can't lower it down before you drop it off. So we have to do it that way round. Yeah, I had the mowers the next bay over, didn't I? Next to the fertilizer spinner there. I may have had pallets, empty pallets of stuff here. Let's bring you into there, lower you down and unhitch. That's brilliant. And right, I don't want a front weight on this one. We don't need that extra weight capacity on the front to hold the hitch down because we haven't got anything particularly heavy on our back. So we can leave that one exactly as it is. I will get you on there, and I'm going to move you back over this way. And I'll hook you... I'm going to hook you actually into the logging trailer. Just like that, because we don't have a truck for running that logging trailer at the moment. So we'll put that one onto there like that. So I'll hook you on there, and then... we'll hook the whole thing off. Right, that one stays like that. That's brilliant. Then we can go over and we can get this next one. So we've still got the animal trailer there. We haven't really used that one very much. I did use it a bit to go and get some sheep. And maybe we'll use it to go and get some more sheep. But honestly, I would rather pay the little bit extra delivery charges for whatever we're going to get. We haven't gone and bought any horses using the horse box or sold any horses using the horse box either yet. And that is one thing that I do want to do. It has been mentioned by more than one person that this series has gotten a little bit too unrealistic for a lot of people. And one of the main reasons being is that we haven't made very much progress. I've been doing a huge amount of stuff here using the terraforming and digging away the entire hillside and stuff like that. And so I just wanted to address that in that I do understand where you're coming from. And yes, I have been excessively using it. I'm not actually planning to use it that much from sort of this point on. Other than sort of smoothing things out, I'm not planning on doing that much. It was kind of... we want to see what it's like. We want to see how it works. See what it costs us to do that sort of stuff. And really have a good look at it and see what it was like incorporating it into a regular Let's Play. So you can see how much expense it really does take up. And we have poured hundreds of thousands of dollars into doing all of that landscaping. But that's kind of come to an end now. The future pens I will be buying, so we are getting more chicken pens. We are going to be working on that still. But my plans for those are actually, I'd like to now put them on the slopes, put them on the hills going up, and then build tracks going up to them. We'll use the terraforming, we'll use the landscaping to build tracks going up to the various different chicken pens and that, and making little areas in front of them. Much more realistically than digging away an entire hillside. But, I mean, this series here, if we are going to be doing anything that's less than realistic, it would be on this series rather than the super hardcore one. That's just the way I'd like to do it. $19,000 for that one right there. And then we will go into our tablet and we will place an order. So we don't even have to go in the front door. And we will buy this bad boy right here. Yep, there we go. Right, perfect. We now have a new vehicle. So we can take this one back down to the farm. I know I already said it in the last video, but that one was recorded at the end of last week. This is the beginning of the new week, and I have had a massive amount of feedback from everybody right across the whole of last week regarding potential changes to the channel that will be coming. There will be some changes coming starting next week. Nothing major. Alright, I just want to reassure you that I'm not suddenly stopping all of the pre-recorded... I got the impression I worded it wrong to begin with, because a lot of people seem to think that I was planning on stopping all the pre-recorded videos and switching over to just live streams. No, absolutely not. I can't do that anyway. I wouldn't want to do that because I can't maintain a set schedule because of my personal life. But there are people who'd like me to do more live streaming, and that may be something that we move towards. But at the moment, there will be some changes coming, and they will start next week. But I haven't sort of finalized all the details. I'm still discussing this with Senleia, my wife, and we're coming up with a plan and what we think is going to work best for us as a family, and also what is going to work best for the channel overall. And I'll give you some more details next week. I may do a brief channel update, but don't worry about it. It's nothing major. There's nothing too severe that is going to be coming along. There will be a few changes, but it's not going to seriously alter anything that goes on the channel at the moment. So don't worry about it. You'll find out more when we've sort of finalized everything that we want to do with it. Let's start you up a minute. Have we left anything down this? I don't think we have. I think it's all looking pretty good down there. So yeah, don't worry about it, and we will fill you in on all of the extra details. Should there, if there is anything in particular that we need to fill you in on, well, there will be. There are a few changes coming, and overall, I think most of you are going to like the changes that are coming to the channel. So I do honestly think that the changes that we are seriously talking about are going to be a positive thing. I think most people will actually like them. So moving on from that, I have a competition open at the moment. There is a video, and I haven't actually pinned that to the top of the home page on the channel, which is very neglectful of me at the time of recording this. By the time you watch this, I should have done, right? I will try and make sure that I do that. So there is a giveaway for my birthday. I'm giving stuff to you for my birthday, and we've got 3 copies of Farming Simulator that I'm giving away for my birthday. If you'd like to be in with a chance of winning a copy of Farming Simulator 19, it's a Steam key. There is no console version available. I'm sorry to tell those of you who want a console version. There is no console version available. This is for a Steam key only. Go and watch that video for a chance, and make sure you follow the instructions carefully, and you will be able to win. I'll tell you right now, though, that is not the end of it, okay? My birthday is on the 13th of March, which for you is tomorrow. And my wife's birthday, Senleia's birthday, that is on the 16th of March. So this is the birthday month. Now, I have my birthday live stream coming up at the end of this week, which we're doing Minecraft for, by the way. I was quite surprised, actually, at the sheer number of people that requested Minecraft over the couple of other, well, the other game that I suggested, or different games. It was overwhelmingly Minecraft. So there's a Minecraft stream coming up this weekend, this Friday evening, which is my birthday stream. And there are more giveaways coming to the channel, okay? It's turning from a birthday week into a birthday month. There are more giveaways coming. There is more stuff that we're going to be giving away. There are some more copies of Farming Simulator we're going to be giving away. And there are some other things that we're going to be giving away as well. This is a giveaway month, and it is looking absolutely fantastic. So make sure you keep watching all of those giveaway videos, and if you like what you see in any of them, then make sure you enter those competitions. It's not difficult to enter. I never make it difficult to enter the competition, but you do have to pay a little bit of attention so that you do actually get it right. Right? There are very specific instructions that you have to follow, and so just make sure you listen carefully, and so long as you do, you're in with a chance of winning. That's all you've got to do. That's it. There will be more competitions coming up. So the actual winners for the first one, the winners for the first 3 copies of Farming Simulator 19 will be announced tomorrow in an extra video that will go live sometime tomorrow morning. On my birthday, I will draw those winners, and you will have that video going up. Right? I was about to say, oh no, it's the next day, but no, for you, it'll be tomorrow. Right, it's all going to be happening. You've got that video to look forward to. So if you have entered, make sure you watch it, because it's on there that I tell you who's won, and I tell you how to get hold of me, so that we can begin the process of confirming who you are. And it does require a confirmation. I do go through a vetting process confirm that you are who you say you are before I dish out the prizes. And it does work very well. It's a tried and tested method that does seem to work exceedingly well. There, we'll put that one onto there, and then we will take this tractor back round. And we get that one... well, we'll just go and park it up for a minute. We don't need to worry about it, because we're not going to use this tractor for a second. And I'm going to start rowing up, but before we do that, I think we might start planting the field up there, because we've got a... What could we do? Maybe I should just go and throw some fertilizer on first. Actually, I might do that. We might go and get the fertilizer spinner, and we'll throw that on first. So let's bring you over to there. Ooh, no, I didn't mean to do that. We can lower it down anyway. There. Right. So I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you, or you. Actually, you're the one that I want. You are the one that I want. The one that I want. And we'll take you down this way, and we will start tipping in these oats for these horses. We can put a little bit into this lot of horses here, and then the rest will tip into the other side. We will have to run a quick repair job on this tractor as well, I think. So put you into there. How much are you going to tip in? I don't put too much. Ah, there we go. Right, so that one's now completely full. Plenty of grass in there, as you can see. And we'll whiz this one on round here. And tip that one out into there as well, like that. So the other 6.5 tons will go in there, and that's everything gone in there now. And if we take a look at our animals, so the chickens have got a little bit in there, wheat, barley. They're doing all right. These are a little bit less. Then the sheep, they could do with a bit more grass and hay. We've got 47 sheep in there. Hay again, and water for the horses, and oats is now completely full at 32,000 on those. What about these up here? That's 26. Yeah, we will grow wheat next. That's going to be our next crop. Is we're going to grow wheat. I probably won't bother growing. I probably won't bother harvesting the straw. We'll leave the straw as it is. Just we'll do the same again that we did on this crop. If I bring you back over to there like that, and then I go to here like that, I can repair that one all the way up for $408, and then tab, I can repair that one, yes, for 54, and the baler, right, so apparently I'm not allowed to have a look at the front weight, because it's too far forward, that's fine. I should really clean this trailer. Right, we use this one for animal feed and all sorts, so really we ought to be cleaning this trailer off as well. Bit grubby. I need to get on with doing the fertilizing. You know what, I tell you what, we'll come back and we'll clean that trailer a bit later. We'll unhitch that one there, and we can come back and clean that one. We'll get this tractor hooked straight on, and we can run up through here. Up like that, and we'll get that one straight onto the fertilizer spinner, and we can get going with spreading the fertilizer. I don't know how much we've got in there. We're going to need to spread a bit of fertilizer over the grass field so that that one does grow up properly. Get you onto there. We've got plenty of fertilizer in it at the moment, though, so I don't need to worry about doing anything extra on it. I will do what I normally do, which is once around the side. So if I go to there like that, the one thing I do love about it now is that when you start, if you've got the straw chopped onto the fields, it does actually put a chopped straw layer onto the field. Then you go over it with the fertilizer, and it removes it like that. So you can very clearly and easily see what it's done. Now the chopped straw mod that used to be on there, that used to count as a layer of fertilizer. If you pop that onto the field, that would actually be one of the layers of fertilizer that you needed to do your field. And I used to like that. I used to think that was really good. I wasn't quite sure that it, realistically represented a proper layer of fertilizer, having that stuff chopped into it, but it would still have done something. It does still do something onto the field. So yeah, I was quite happy for it to do that. That was quite cool. And it also did save us a little bit of time with the fertilizing as well, because it was, especially when you were working with it with 3 layers, it was always a bit of a nuisance having to do the 3 full layers all the time. And so having the chopped straw mod active and doing that. That was quite cool. And it would be quite cool on this one, except that, like in this instance here, we've got stripes, so we would definitely be left with a very uneven coverage of fertilizer across our field if we were to have a chopped straw mod or anything like that doing it. So let's bring you back up here. And I reckon about there would be roughly in the middle. I'll bring you up there, and yeah, that seems pretty good. So I press H on there. The hired help is going to carry on, and they're going to go and do that field. So while they get started on that one, we are then going to pop over to you, and we're going to start raking this field up, and then we'll keep an eye on that one. We want to start planting that one as soon as we possibly can as well. I'll unfold this bad boy like that. There he goes. See, this one, I don't know why, I just prefer this to the wheel rake. I just do. There's something about it. This one got adjustments on it? No, I don't think it does. Stop it a minute. No, I know that some of them, well, at least some of the modded ones in 17, they allowed you to extend the arms slightly to give you a wider swath if you wanted to. And obviously you didn't have to if you didn't want to. You could still run it at a narrower swath. I've gone out a long way on this. I've missed a whole load of it down on that side. I know that you wouldn't really be having your rake go through all the weeds like that, because that would be very unrealistic. But yeah, we can overlook that bit. Maybe we should get rid of the weeds a bit. Now, all the way out round there. If I do once around the outside of this field, we may get away with using some hired help on this. Although I'm not sure. Hired help does tend to act a little bit strangely with doing hay. Or at least with operating a rake, anyway. I have noticed that. Mostly, it does alright. And it certainly does fine in the middle of the field. But when you're trying to, like, do the very outside round on a field, it can behave in a very peculiar fashion. If you've got the outside round still down on the ground... And look at this. Look. Right, that's my bad, because I'm not actually I'm not putting the rake out far enough. I've gone through and done the turning, and I've spread the hay too far down. Also, these things are really difficult to reverse, by the way. I would just like to add that bit in. But there, look, see, the hay is going all the way out down here, look. Just because of how I did the turning. So that's my bad, and I've now got bits of hay that either I've got to be right out like this, or I'm going to miss them altogether. A little tiny tree there. That's not going to change. That tree is not going to go any further out. But yeah, I'm having to go right out off to the edge like this, because of where the grass stayed, and then where we were with the hay turner when we came back round. And also because, well, not because, but the one mod that I liked more than any other in FS17 was that hay turner mod that allowed you to angle it for the outside round, so you could kick the stuff back in towards the middle of the field. I loved that mod, I really did, and I miss that mod. I would like that one again, and I'm sure it will come back. It probably is already released somewhere. It's just that when I say I'd like it to come back, I mean I'd like it to come back for console. You see that? There's still more all the way out. I went out a long way on this bit here. I think it might have just been where I started doing the turning more than anything else. So I'm going to lift that one up there. I'm going to bring it back over this way, and I'm going to put the hired help going like that, about there, I think. I want it to gather up all of it, so I am going to end... You know what? I'm going to end up gathering up most of that row anyway, at this rate. So we'll bring you back round here. I'll put you to about that point there, I think. Like that. And press H right there. So yeah, it's going to gather up most of that row that I've already rowed up. I can live with that. Or some of it, anyway. But then it'll get to this point. And now, the big question is it going to stop there and carry on? It's going to go and row up the row anyway. Just to make life difficult for us. Right, you'll go to there, and then you'll turn. How well are you going to cope with this? We'll watch. Right, Helper D has completed their task, so he's going to go all the way back out there, which is going to make life a little bit difficult for us. I shouldn't have done that outside. Actually, you know what I should do? I should go round and I should bail up that outside round. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop that right now. Right, and we'll just quickly switch over to the other tractor a second. This one over here. We've done most of the fertilizer now. Unfortunately, because of the chopped straw, we can see very, very easily where he's actually done the fertilizer. So we'll just quickly go over the rest of it. Like this. There isn't much that he's missing. There's that normal stripe that we always leave, that little tiny stripe right in the middle, just on where it gets really steep, just because of the way that the I don't know, the terrain works with the auto finding his way type thing. So if I bring that up there, there we go. Right, so that's all done there, and one tiny bit there that he left. Okay, you're done. So now we will go and get the seed drill on, and we'll start doing that. I come in through here. I've still got 1,300 litres of fertilizer. We'll use some of that onto the grass field. That's the other thing. When we mow now, does that still count as one layer of fertilizer like it used to? I know it used to. Needs lime. It does count as a layer of fertilizer, so we've only got to put one layer of fertilizer onto grass, and that's done. I'm going to ignore the needing lime. Although we may have to go over and lime the field anyway. But for now, we'll ignore it, and we'll pop you back into there. Drop you off like that. Then we'll go over to this side, and we'll get this one here. Now, if this one is running out of seed, we're going to need to get a seed placeable and put that down. Ooh, I don't know if we got enough. I wanted wheat this time. There we go. We might be right. We might 1,800 litres just for this field here. We may be alright. So once again, I'm going to do a little bit around the edges. I'm going to do twice. We'll go around this side, and then we'll go back round and we'll go the other way. And then what we'll do, the next task is we'll hook that baler onto the Fendt, and we'll go and we'll do that one outside round with the bales. Bale that up. Then we can shift those bales and just move them out the way and stack them back. And that'll make it a lot easier to do the inside rounds of the field. Everything will be much, much easier once we've got sort of that outside bit out of the way. And I've said this many times before. I know quite a lot of people that will take 1 or 2 rounds around the outside of every field they intend to do hay with, and take it off as a bit of silage. They'll do the outside round, especially if they've got trees all the way around the edge. Take that outside round and just bale it up and wrap it as silage bales, because then they get a much more even drying on the rest of the field. Now, I know that in some parts of the world this is not really going to be much of an issue, because you have so much brilliant bright sunshine, and your farms are laid out altogether differently. I've seen some video footage of some people working on a farm in Texas, and this farm in Texas, they had a grass field and they had an arable field, and that was it. That was their farm. They had 2 fields, a grass field and an arable field. Okay, well that seems fine. Here in the UK, a very large farm, although it is starting to change, but certainly from the part of the UK that I'm from, a 300-acre farm would be considered quite a large farm. Although that is now, the scale of it is slowly increasing. And it does depend what part of the UK you're from. Some parts of the UK you're talking 1,000 or 2,000 acres now for a large farm. But I'm going on sort of my part of the world. A 300-acre farm, you'd be looking at 30-plus fields for that 300-acre farm. Okay, a 10-acre field is still considered a fairly big field in the part of the world that I live in. And other parts of the world, other parts of the country, a 10-acre field is probably not really worth bothering with, because it's, the size of the machinery and everything. I know that there are 5-acre fields in some places further up country from me, that 5 acres is just not worth bothering with. It's not worth the time and effort of going into the field and trying to work it, because the machinery is all set up for very big scale. So by the time you try to do a little bit of land work and then mess around doing your headlands and everything in your 5-acre field, you've spent sort of 5 times longer per acre in there than you would in any other field. So they just don't bother with it. 5 acres is too small to bother with. And to me, the first time I heard that, several years ago now, mind, I was just astounded. 5 acres, that's a huge quantity of land. If you had to go and like cut that by hand with a scythe, and you were cutting the grass in that field by hand, 5 acres would seem like a very, very big field, but it's just not worth their time and effort. But anyway, I'm talking about my part of the world. I'm talking about my little corner of the UK where 5 acres is definitely worth bothering with. And you've got these fields, and you got 300 acres. So this farm in Texas that I was looking at is 2 fields. The entire farm was about, I think they said it was nearly 3,000 acres. So I believe that's a fairly small farm by Texas standards. Or, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is. And it was a 3,000 acre farm, or 2,000 acre farm, whatever it might be. The grass field was absolutely enormous. I don't know how big it was. And then you had a massive, great big arable field as well. They had cattle, which was what the grass field was for, and they were doing their hay, and they cut it, and it took them a day to cut it, and then they went along and rode it up after they'd cut it, and that was like a half a day, and then they were following along with a baler, and they were baling it all up as hay the day after they cut it. And this to me was just phenomenal, and plus they were doing it all in the same field. I was amazed by this. I've never even heard of such a thing before I'd seen this. So it was a few years ago now. I've obviously heard of quite a few different farming tales and the way things are done these days. And I couldn't believe it. So I'm very much aware that there are very, very different ways of doing things all around the world. But on our little farm that we've got here, I'm kind of thinking, I like the idea. I'm just going to unhitch that one there. I like the idea of doing this a bit more... I'm assuming that there are parts of the States where it takes you 3 days to make hay. The same as it does here in the UK. Right, I do want a front weight now. I want a front weight to offset the weight of that baler, because that one is quite heavy. So you definitely want some weight on the front of the tractor for that. And we may end up just leaving the front weight on while we finish up and do the raking afterwards. But yeah, the different ways. I'm assuming that there are places in the US as well, US and Canada, where it takes you 3 days at least to make hay. For us, you mow it down on day 1. Then you know, if you can get it cut in the morning, ideal. You can go and you can run through with the hay turner later in the day, spread it out more and fluff it up and get it drying, and then day 2, you go along and you turn the hay in the morning, and you turn the hay again in the afternoon. Keep it fluffed up and keep it turning over. Day 3, you go and turn the hay in the morning, and you might then be able to go and actually row it up in the afternoon and bale it. If not, you'd go out in the morning of day 4, and you'd row it up and bale it. If it's really hot conditions... If it's absolutely perfect conditions, you may get away with mowing it in the morning, early in the morning on day 1, and baling it up late afternoon, early evening on day 2. So you don't start baling till 6 p.m. But that would be very unusual. It would be more likely that you would bale up on day 3 in the morning. You'd mow it in the morning of day 1, turn it a couple times on day 2, and then on day 3 you'd be able to go and bale in the morning. So you go out, you row it up as soon as the dew is lifted, which is going to take you until about 10 o'clock anyway, before all the moisture in the air from overnight, all that dew has burned off. You go and row it up while you're sort of waiting for that to happen, because that'll help it burn off a little bit quicker, as it does fluff it up a bit once you've rowed it up. And then you can go along with the baler and you can bale it up sort of starting around lunchtime. And Yep, that, you can even start a little bit earlier. So you've got to have really good conditions there. You've got a blazing heat. The grass can't be too dry. And you've also got to have a good steady breeze for a few days as well, because the wind makes a huge amount of difference to the how quickly the grass dries. If it's a dead flat calm the entire time, it does take longer to dry out than if you've got a bit of a breeze going on. The breeze does genuinely make a difference to the speed at which the hay can dry out. So yeah, it is possible to sometimes get it baled on the second day, but I've only ever seen that once. Literally, I've only ever seen that once. Normally, day 3 if you've got good conditions, or day 4. That's what you're looking at here, at least in the part of the world that I'm from, which is the southwest corner of the UK. That little bit that sticks out down the bottom end, that little bootleg bit on the bottom. That's where I live. That's my corner of the world, and that's our sort of conditions that we have for making hay. There are parts of the world where it takes even longer than that to make hay. I know that some places you have to essentially go and gather the grass while it's still pretty much green, and then go and take it into the farm and turn it into hay while it's back at the farm, or turn it into hay on the corner of the field. I mean, they certainly used to. They may not need to do it quite so much anymore, but the northern islands in the UK, right north of Scotland, there, the traditional way of doing it was to gather the hay up, gather the grass, and then they would put it onto these stands in the corners of the fields, and they would turn it over each day while it was stored on there, and that was how they'd made the hay. I don't exactly know how it was done. I don't know what those things were called either, but I do remember watching something about that was something that was done on a regular basis. Right, we're going to lift that one up, and we're going to stop it, and then we're going to unhitch the baler right there. We've got a couple of bales around the field that are going to be in the way if we're not careful, so rather than worry too much about them, we'll rush off and we'll get our artisan stacker a minute, and we'll grab those few bales. We had a bale of straw left in there from our last lot of straw baling that we did, so we'll have to get that as well. It can all be gathered up, and we'll run this up through here. I am running out of time for today's episode, though, so we'll have to carry on with this tomorrow. We will finish doing our haymaking in tomorrow's episode. We should be able to get most of the raking and the baling done, I should think, even if we can't pick all the bales up. We've got our planting going on. We'll get another load of fertilizer onto the ground as well once we've got that planting done. And that should then mean that we can, once that's done, we've got this done here. We'll get some fertilizer onto this field. We'll put some lime onto this field as well. Although, people do say that we're not supposed to put lime straight onto the grass. You're supposed to plow it first. But the field is requiring lime. It says we need lime. And I don't know that grass is affected by lime requirements or not. But it's still saying that it needs lime on the field, which I'm thinking means that we do need to do something about it. So we'll have a look at it. And then we can fast forward time, and we should then be able to get a few more eggs and some pallets of wool. And if we can get a few more of those, then we're going to be able to be selling some pallets of eggs and wool, which means that we'll be able to make a fortune. Right, you off of there. And then we'll finally be able to start buying some more land. That's the next thing that we want to do. I mean, I'm in no particular great hurry at the moment to go and buy either of these two fields up here because they've got sugar beet on them. So we'll wait we will want to wait until they're harvested. Once they're harvested, though, that'll be a lot better. Right. I get this one hooked on, and we can make a little bit of a start. But no, that is all we got time for. So if you've enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. I said I was going to start, but I'm not actually going to. I'm just going to leave it right there, and we'll go and have a look at the other one. Right over here. Sure he's doing all right. Okay, brilliant. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.